And I do work real quick just because I don't know how many people actually watched the verses that was on Friday, and it was Hit-Boy versus Mike Will. And this the comment, and you know what I love about this, because we kind of always get that conversation on, like, because podcasters, I feel like a lot of them just don't be outside. So even when it comes to like their takes and their opinions, it just be from like what you personally may like. And I think, to me, the sweet spot, even for me, I always want to speak for what I like, but I still want to know what outside really feel like. And if you got to watch in real time, where it was like Mike Will versus Hit-Boy, was almost like what all Hit-Boy represented everything that you listen to in hip hop media. And I want to sit here and say this real quick, and it may be a hot take, but if you really think about it, it's not a hot take. I feel like hip hop media has literally watered down the male hip hop space. And the reason why I'll say that is, and then I'll get into the breakdown of the verses, is because if you look at it, because I follow, of course, a lot of the female rappers, a lot of them go on tour with no problem. And these be the people that you don't even hear their names in no conversation. Like, you can't tell me a podcast that you cut on outside of this one that you cut on and you hear, or probably Poor Minds, and that's because they women, and they kind of, a lot of the popular women are from their area because they from Houston, so they interview a lot of the popular younger women coming up in the hip hop space. But they get to do tour. Like, I'm looking at who about to be on tour right now? Mona Leo about to be on tour again, and also Kendrick about to be on tour again. Bunna B about to put out some new music. But all of these women are on tours and be able to move around freely, where there's kind of no expectation on them. You're not checking to see if their tour dates are sold out. They can put out their music and it can chart and it can do numbers, and their tours be sold out. Like Mona Leo on a second, she added a whole new leg of her tour and about to go on the jump with Summer Walker. So the Summer Walker don't know kick into the summer. She literally about to start her whole second leg throughout this like little winter going into spring, and then she gonna be right back on tour with Summer Walker. But that's my whole point. If they get to move freely, because they're not in the conversations of the Joe Buttons and the academics, where they constantly just tearing down hip hop people, and you only kind of bigging up certain women, where these women can kind of move up under the radar, have super big records, and their tours be sold out, where they don't have to even play the numbers game. Like, and that's why they probably get to drop so much music, because I don't got to worry about academics super criticizing my stuff. I don't got to worry about living up to the expectations of whatever podcast. Like, I really think if y'all really pay attention to it, just pay attention to how free the female hip hop space get to move around, and where they over criticize the men. And I think because so many people, and a lot of people just don't know how to put their head down and do the work, man, they listen to the criticism, so it kind of waters them down. But again, going back into the Friday conversation on from the verses, where Hit-Boy was playing some of them super lyric. He was like, man, Jones, did you hear people brag about it, how fire? Like, think about it. Hit-Boy played that ASAP Rocky A-Train Jones. So many people speak, oh, how crazy A-Train was. That's one of the best posse cuts of this generation, and this, that, and the third. Man, he played that shit. Them people just looked at him like, when you about to, are you for real? Like, I'm on Twitter and Threads in real time, and niggas was like, oh, this nigga's getting smoked, because there's real people in there.
If when they're doing the producer thing, I think it should be the 2-screen. I don't like that. Like,
yeah, the live jump wasn't good for because they don't have the personalities for it.
And that's why I think that takes a lot of the aura out of it. Because like I said, you play those songs, but it's not the same. Like when you break,
you can't like, say that, because when Mike Will played them, goddamn, when he played them Futures, man,
he played them, but that's what I'm saying. I think it kind of takes the aura out of, like I said, if you even when he broke down that song, what was it? Which one was that?
The Nipsey Hussle jump?
Was it the Nipsey Hussle? I don't think it might have been the Ace. Was it the ASAP one? It was one of them joints where he broke down. He's playing the original, how he found, you know what I'm saying, how he got the beat, and then he went.
It may have been the ASAP Rocky jump.
That's what I'm saying. I think when you're doing the producer, it needs to be the 2 screens, like where, hey, I came up with this idea off of this.
No, I think it just depends on the producers. I do agree. I agree, and I agree and I disagree. I think just this one was because it was like, it's the battle of 2 words. It's like Mike Will represents outside, like, and you felt like, and let's be clear, and he kind of like almost like his outside kind of almost teetered off a little bit going into the 20s. Like when you go into 2020, Mike Will ain't really went as crazy in like since like 2020. So a lot of his jumps was even still early in the 2015, 2016. Like he didn't have a bunch of crazy brand new records, but the whole point, because if that was Metro Boomin, it would have been 100 times worse for Hit-Boy. But that's my point, is like what niggas tell you, like sit on their podcast and like, yeah, cool, you speaking from an old man who don't even go outside. And that's why I even say with the workout thing, is like, because at least if you working out, you kind of got to go into a different bag of listening to music, because when you especially don't feel like doing it, you got to get some shit that kind of make you feel a little bit more useful or youthful, and to be able to push through your jumps. When this nigga was, I'm talking about literally every song outside of Niggas with Paris, bro, it was quiet for that nigga. And he was holding that, like, this is what I'm telling you. And he made me say, I'm talking about Mike Will wipe the floor with this nigga so bad, he made me be like, damn, Future may got a better catalog than everybody. Y'all keep screaming out big three, big three. Future may got a better catalog than all them niggas. Cause the whole entire night, the biggest response was Future records. Every time I'm talking about this nigga came with a Beyonce joke, that nigga Mike Will said, don't even worry about it. Future, boom, the whole crowd. I'm talking about they going crazy every time he dropped a Future song. This nigga Hit-Boy was going Beyonce. He was going the Clips. He was going Nas. That Nas shit, man. Niggas looked at him. Are you dumb? And that's just my point. I think sometimes because it's two different worlds, and I hate that people try to act like music.
But what do we? That's what I'm saying. Like, are you going off of how it moves the crowd, or was it?
But this what I'm saying.
You can't.
I'm gonna tell you why you have to do this, and that's why I think niggas gotta. I think for hip hop podcasts, I challenge y'all to start to get into different. Talk about something else, because some of these music don't need to have no real crazy deep dives in the first place. Like, it's not. This is music, niggas. How do it make you feel? If I'm listening to it, if I'm like, for women, hey, that's why women get to enjoy music differently. Because as a man, like when I'm listening to the baby that I can't shake my ass, so I'm trying to listen to what he about to say in the verse. He ain't saying shit. But as a woman, they get the benefit of. And guess what? He make the song. He ain't making it for me. If I'm not about to sit here and bend my ass and shake and do a TikTok to it, this not for me, but it's for women and they get to enjoy it. Niggas be trying to deep dive, and music ain't nothing to deep dive. This ain't a sport, dog.
He played the Feeling Myself joint, and it wasn't no women in there. Like, that shit looked like a sausage fest in there.
Nah, because if it was a sausage, no, you tripping. They was singing that. Feeling Myself. That was probably one of his biggest jokes.
It wasn't nobody. It wasn't singing along to it. I said,
okay, so how can you say they wasn't singing along to that? But then when Mike Will went into that goddamn Sierra and Future back, everybody and their mother was singing.
It wasn't. Like I said, that thing looked like a sausage fest. It wasn't no females in there. I don't. Like I said, it didn't look to me personally. Like I said, when you do the verses, when it comes to producer, I think it should just be the two screens. You in your studio, I'm in my studio. That crowd didn't. Like I said, that crowd really didn't do it no favor. And then on top of it, you barely hear any of Hit-Boy's songs. Like whatever his sound system was turned down when he started playing his shit was turned down. Like I said, that Feeling Myself, you didn't hear it. I mean,
out of all the songs he played, probably that by far was my favorite, and outside of Niggas with Paris. But again, when I'm talking about music gotta make you feel something. And I'm telling you, hip hop podcasts watered down and made y'all niggas think that music is supposed to be something completely different from what it's actually supposed to do. It's supposed to make you feel away. When I listen to Jeezy, and that's why when I was listening to a random Jeezy song and I was in the gym, and I sit here and say, it's crazy how niggas be hyping up and gassing up Pusha T and Jay-Z Jones, not sitting here knocking it like they do got some hard Jones. Jay-Z get out of his body every time you get on the jump with Pusha T, but it don't make you feel like Jeezy and Jay-Z don't go crazy. That nigga Jeezy was talking so greasy. I'm like, oh, this nigga Jeezy really had people thinking they could really just get a brick and get this shit off by lunchtime. You could not do it, but you're in your mind listening to Jeezy make you feel like you could be Big Meech. And that's my point, is when niggas be breaking down music, like when he playing that stupid feature, like Hit-Boy was so mad that Mike Will won a Grammy for la-dee-da-dee-da, and that it's music supposed to make you feel something. All you listen to him say, and I promise you, go back and I gotta start going back and listening to some of the bad takes these niggas gave you. Everybody in their mother, just no way in hell y'all thought that the Clips was going to beat Kendrick Lamar on anything today. The Grammys, Kendrick Lamar belt the ass to them niggas. GNX, I told y'all how hard that shit was. But niggas be in denial because you trying to do lyrical. You can't, dog. You stupid niggas who want to break down music bar by bar, niggas start talking about politics. Break down some shit that niggas got to really use their brain to. I'm listening to music because I want to turn up and have a good time. I ain't trying to sit here and feel like I'm reading a fucking book. Music ain't meant for me to read a book to, dog. Niggas be trying too hard, and that shit be. When I was listening to that, I was like, "Thank you, Mike Will. Keep wiping this nigga ass." I'm talking about Mike Will put belt the ass, and shout out to Mike Will for being a real nigga, having Big Bank talk through his shit. And that's what that was Big Bank, and that's what I'm talking about. What I love about Atlanta niggas just doing Atlanta nigga shit. I came to your city, your town, and put dick on the table and told you to hold it. You got all these big names. You can't even get none of these motherfuckers to come to your shit. Like, wait the fuck, and that's why I'm talking about where rappers, they piss me off. Rowdy Rich, your bitch ass skating and put out a song. How the fuck are you not right there with Hit-Boy? Why aren't you right there with Hit-Boy performing racks in the middle? I don't know. I don't care. I don't Rowdy. This one, I'm going to go into a longer list of niggas. I don't care what they ever do again. I don't care. Rowdy Rich should have been there though. It's nowhere in hell. Nobody ain't checking for you. You don't got a song moving on now. It's nowhere in hell. That big platform, and that's again why I said shout outs to Mike Will. Mike Will brought out Big Bank. He ain't have to bang out Big Bank, but he did that because that's a good look for Big Bank. He brought out Ray Sherman. Niggas, oh, Ray Sherman ain't gonna come back. Shut the fuck up. Y'all niggas don't know what y'all be talking about. Y'all just be talking, dog. Like I'm so tired of fucking podcast niggas. I be feeling like when I be seeing other people be like, I'm be cool on y'all niggas. Y'all be I be like, what the fuck did I just listen to this shit for? I ain't get no new information. You ain't put me on the shit. Y'all niggas just be talking. Like put me on to some shit that I need to be put on to. And we gonna talk about that in 2 seconds when I get to Joe Budden and Andrew fucking Schultz. But again, shout out to Mike Will for putting belt to fucking ass to goddamn Hit-Boy. And I do want to play this one dude. I seen this little nigga who did a breakdown on I did agree with him. And shout out to everybody. Again, we back. I hope y'all are moving around the snow safety. Oh, we gonna get to that. And I glad, you know, I'm gonna tell you what I love about that snowstorm. I guarantee y'all, a lot of y'all probably squint y'all face up and looked at me like I was crazy when we was talking about gentrification like 2 weeks ago. I guarantee you some of y'all wish I had them white neighbors. Because them white motherfuckers got on them cameras and them streets got fucking clean. So again, we definitely go, because that, I love that black people got on the internet and they show their ass too.
It's time to come to terms with the fact that hip-hop no longer respects New York musically, bro. And I think, honestly, it's our fault. I just got finished watching the verses, as you can see, between Mike Will Made It and Hit-Boy. First and foremost, clinic of a verses. Those men put on an absolute clinic. They went haymaker for haymaker, hit song for hit song. The best music that has been played in a verses, I think, ever. But when I say that New York no longer gets respect musically, is because Hit-Boy has 6 albums with Nas, right? And he only played 1 song from those 6 albums, which was Spicy. In my opinion, that is the best song that they have together, right? But it's what happened when he played that song. Crickets, bro. Absolute crickets. You could hear a pin drop. Nobody cared, bro. And the song before that, Dance to Make Her Dance by Juicy J, and that building was upside fucking down, bro. And we can't say it's regional bias because he played Click and everybody was singing that whole verse word for word. So it's not regional bias. We in New York have been stuck in this nostalgia loop and in this wonder fairy tale land that we think our word is superior than everybody else's when everybody's laughing at us, bro. We don't make good music, man. And we haven't for a very fucking long time. While everybody's updated their iOS and their ear and we're stuck in Windows 95. And it's time to change that, bro. I don't want to keep talking about the same problem. I'm not a problems person. I'm a solutions person. And when I keep talking about this, I'm like trying to find a solution. But I keep getting pushback from the same motherfuckers that are living in a basement and refuse to come up for air, bro. This got to stop, bro, because I'm from New York and I love my city. I love the artists that come from my city. I love the legacy of my city. We're the Mecca, for crying out loud, bro.
Yeah, I don't know about the Mecca thing no more. I mean, them days have been past probably almost damn near 30 years ago now. But again, like I said, shout outs to Mike Will, dog. And you know what? Sometimes it's almost better to have like a cult type of street hit than have like a crazy mainstream hit. Because sometimes certain songs you don't get tired of if it's kind of just like a street hit. Because when that Future came on, I'm itching, I haven't heard that song in so long, so that shit felt so nostalgic where it was like, oh, this nigga just went his bag. And you gotta think about how crazy Mike Will only played one of his Drake Jones. Like and that's probably one. He got some new Drake Jones, like because Trouble and Drake had a song and Mike Will produced that whole Trouble album. Like he didn't even go into that bag. He left that alone. That's how crazy them Future songs run with that. And that's what the difference is. And listen to what I'm saying. I almost literally want to sit here and say, it may depend on who DJing. Like if Future went against Drake in the verses and he had DJ Esco DJing his jump, because I'm really sitting here saying, I honestly think the Future songs if Drake win, it's going to be by a hair length of a win. Because if you go they're both of their Rihanna songs, I'm going, what's that? Love and affection. Man, I don't want to hit what's my name? Whatever the fuck that silly ass Rihanna and Drake song is. Say my name, I forgot how the fuck that shit go. But that goddamn Future and Rihanna, and that's the difference between like some songs that be like so catchy and so corny that you don't really care if you hear it again. But that goddamn Future, you never going to see here. If you play that joint in front of some real Rihanna or real Future fans, and you play that goddamn you man, the whole crowd gonna go crazy, though. I'm telling you, don't sleep on Future. Y'all keep having that big 3 conversation. Y'all can say that shit for the internet. Because if you go outside, I'm telling you, it's only out of all of them newer, older 2010 niggas, it's only 2 niggas that you can give like 45 minute set to. And if you a DJ, you feel like I'm comfortable, ain't nobody gonna ask me to come and change it. And that's Future and that's Drake. And them beats are the only two niggas that I would kind of want to see go like a clean head-to-head jump, because Future, I think a lot of people don't give Future a lot of credit because Future don't do no interviews. Again, because I feel like the South don't have no crazy podcast to really be just like, the South don't have their version of Joe Budden. So it's kind of like where it's like, that's why Future don't get the credit that he probably realistically really deserved. But when I watch that Mike Will jump, every time that nigga hit that Future glass, man, that crowd went so goddamn crazy. Even that Sierra John, man, again, shout out to Mike Will though. He put on the goddamn clinic. If y'all haven't watched that Versus, I feel like I probably realistically put way more gas on it than it actually is, because that shit was kind of boring. But
that shit was like, what the?
I was watching it too while I was in the gym, so I was on the treadmill anyway. So it was like I wasn't going to win anyway, so I just made myself get through it. I ain't about to sit here and make it seem like, oh, this was one of the greatest verses that you had to go watch, but it was just that was just some of my takeaways. And
that's what I was just like, dog, how did all these like got wrong with 100 niggas?
What you mean?
I mean, because they're producers. Like, I'm just like, is that how it is? Like.
But you know, but Mike Will got a company, so I mean, I'm sure he bought like some of those people. I don't think he make all the beats himself, so I'm sure his ear drummers thing is a actual like, and that's probably the difference between him and Hit-Boy. Hit-Boy probably do a lot of his own stuff by himself, and Mike Will probably do a lot with a lot of other people. So I mean, of course, I'm sure he gonna that like I'm saying. I mean, of course, many people don't get that opportunity to get up on Apple Music. That's a free chance to kind of, I mean, you know, like promote yourself. Again, that's why I said shout outs to him for bringing Big Bank on there, because how many times do you actually get that opportunity to just to be on that platform? So again, like I said, shout outs to Mike Will. Again, like I said, if you need something to watch, if you didn't watch it, I say watch it just so you can kind of get your own opinion. You can judge it for.
I was looking for them.